How often lately have you caught yourself thinking, back in the day? Back when you could easily jump up from your favorite armchair, effortlessly bend down to the garden beds, easily sit on the floor to play with your grandchildren, and then get up just as easily, without needing support or making a sound. If the thought of getting down on the floor and then standing up without using your hands now causes you slight anxiety or seems like something out of science fiction, you're not alone. But did you know that this seemingly simple ability to get up easily from the floor is an incredibly accurate barometer of your health and potential longevity? Scientists say that if you maintain this ease at 65 to 80 years old, you have every chance of living to 100 in good health and with a clear mind. So why does this task become more difficult over the years? It's not just about the years lived. Our muscles, like forgotten instruments, lose strength and tone without regular tuning. This is called sarcopenia. Joints and ligaments, like an old leather bag, become stiff and lose elasticity without movement and proper care. Our nervous system sends commands a bit slower, and all this is greatly amplified by our daily habits. What acts like invisible shackles on our legs and clouds our energy? Firstly, it's the long hours of stillness, when we seem fused to the sofa. This is real rust for our joints, restricting movement. And secondly, it's the treacherous sweet fog, an excess of sugar and simple carbohydrates, which first give a deceptive burst of energy, and then plunge us into fatigue and cause inflammation, like pouring sand into the gears of our vitality. But here's a ray of hope. Regaining your body's former ease, feeling a surge of energy, improving your balance, and moving confidently again. It's absolutely realistic. I promise you that the simple and accessible tips I'll share today will help you shed these invisible shackles, feel significantly more energetic and mobile, and maybe even easily get up from the floor again, surprising yourself. No complex diets or exhausting workouts, just understandable, achievable steps accessible to everyone. Get comfortable, and let's discover the secrets of youthful movement together. Stay with me until the end. There's a lot of useful and inspiring information waiting for you. Goodbye, sofa gravity. Hello, ease of movement. The first and perhaps most crucial step is to conquer our main enemy, immobility. I'm talking about those long hours we spend sitting or lying down. What we're changing, replacing long periods of uninterrupted sitting with short, regular bursts of activity throughout the day. Let me tell you about Arthur. He's 75. Arthur is a big fan of crosswords and television shows. His armchair was his throne, his fortress. He told me, at my age, you just want some peace. Movement is for the young. But this peace resulted in morning stiffness, heaviness in his legs, and that telltale grunt when trying to stand up. He started noticing that even a short walk to the store was difficult, causing shortness of breath. A feeling grew inside him. Well, that quiet sadness and resignation that old age is no joy. He doubted whether he should change anything. Why? He thought. You can't turn back time anyway. I suggested he start small, not run a marathon, no. Just stand up from his chair every 45-50 minutes and do a few simple things. Walk around the room, stretch, do a few squats holding onto the back of a chair, march in place for a couple of minutes. At first, Arthur did it reluctantly, grumbling to himself. But after just a week, he noticed the first changes. The morning stiffness lessened. Climbing the stairs to the second floor became slightly easier. He told me with surprise, "Imagine, yesterday I went to get bread and didn't even get winded. Why does this work? Our body, especially joints and muscles, is like a river. As long as the water flows, the river lives, it's clean and full. Once the current stops, the river turns into a swamp, silting up. It's the same with us. Movement stimulates blood circulation, delivers oxygen and nutrients to tissues, and helps remove metabolic waste. The synovial fluid that lubricates our joints is produced precisely during movement. When we sit, all these processes slow down. Muscles weaken without load, joints rust. Short breaks for activity are like a gulp of fresh water for our river. They awaken the body, boost blood flow, lubricate the joints. Psychologically, it's also important. Every time we stand up and move, we send a signal to the brain. I am active. I can. This breaks the I'm old and frail mindset. What's the practical benefit for you? You'll feel less stiffness, especially in the mornings. Your legs will be less tired and swollen. Your coordination and balance will improve, reducing the risk of falls. And that's very important. You'll have more energy for daily chores and favorite hobbies. You'll feel lighter, more energetic, and more confident in your abilities. So, my advice to you is, make friends with movement throughout the day. Let them be small steps, but regular ones. Stand up during commercials, walk around the apartment while talking on the phone. Your body will thank you. Start right today. Stand up and walk around the room. Feel that? Life is returning. Life is clearing the sweet fog, adding the clean energy of water and fruit. Now let's talk about what we drink and snack on. Often, when we feel a dip in energy, our hand automatically reaches for sweet tea, a candy, or a cookie. It seems like a quick way to perk up, but it's a trap. What we're changing: replacing sugary drinks, soda, juice boxes, very sweet tea, coffee, and frequent sugary snacks, candy, cookies, pastries, with plain water and whole fruits, berries in moderation. I want to share the story of Eleanor. She's 68. Eleanor is the life of the party, an energetic woman, but she had a weakness. She always craved something sweet after lunch. Cookies with tea were her ritual. She'd say, "It's my little pick-me-up. I'm like a sleepy fly without it." But after this pick-me-up, an hour or two later, a sharp energy crash would follow. Drowsiness would set in, and by evening, she felt completely drained. Her joints also ached, especially her knees. She complained of fog in her head in the afternoon. When I suggested she replace her beloved cookies with a handful of berries or an apple, and her sweet tea with water or unsweetened herbal tea, she looked at me skeptically. "Water? That's boring. And fruit won't fill me up." It felt like she was depriving herself of a small joy. The first few days were tough. Habit demanded its due. But Eleanor is a persistent woman. She started carrying a water bottle and a small container with berries or sliced apple. And what do you think? A couple of weeks later, she came to me with shining eyes. "You won't believe it," she said. "I don't have those awful energy crashes after lunch anymore. I feel more energetic all day long, and my head is clearer, and my knees, they still remind me they're there, but they don't ache as much." Why did it work so well? Sugar and simple carbohydrates, like in cookies or sweet soda, are like rocket fuel. The energy burst is very fast. Blood sugar spikes sharply. But just as quickly, this fuel burns out, and blood sugar drops below normal. Hence the sharp energy slump, drowsiness, irritability. It's a real roller coaster for our body, which depletes it. Furthermore, excess sugar promotes chronic inflammation throughout the body, including in the joints, worsening pain and stiffness. Plain water, conversely, is necessary for all metabolic processes, for hydrating tissues, including joint cartilage. And whole fruits and berries, although they contain natural sugar, package it with fiber. Fiber is like a caring gardener. It slows down sugar absorption, ensuring a smooth and stable energy supply without sharp spikes and crashes. Plus, fruits and berries are rich in vitamins and antioxidants that fight inflammation. What's the benefit for you? A stable energy level throughout the day without sharp slumps, improved concentration and mental clarity, reduced inflammation in the body, which can alleviate joint pain, improved digestion and hydration, and consequently, more energy and desire to move. Try replacing just one sugary snack or drink a day with a glass of water and a piece of fruit. Listen to your body after an hour or two. You'll notice the difference. It's a small step towards great well-being. Your body deserves clean, stable fuel. White bread, empty calories, whole grains, building material. Continuing the theme of nutrition, let's talk about bread, pasta, and rice. We're used to white bread, white rice, regular pasta. It's tasty, familiar, but what we're changing, replacing products made from refined white flour, white bread, loaves, pastries, regular pasta, and white polished rice with whole grain alternatives. Whole grain bread, bread with bran, pasta made from durum wheat or whole grains, brown or unpolished rice, buckwheat, slow-cooked oatmeal, quinoa. Let's remember George. He's 70. George loved having white toast with butter and jam for breakfast, said it reminded him of childhood. But after such breakfasts, he often felt heaviness in his stomach, bloating, and by lunch, he was hungry and irritable again. His energy didn't last long. He considered it a normal age-related phenomenon. "Digestion isn't what it used to be," he sighed. When I suggested replacing his white toast with slow-cooked oatmeal or whole grain bread, he initially brushed it off. That's porridge for kids or bread for dieters. I like normal food. It seemed bland and unappetizing to him. The habit of soft white bread was very strong, but the constant discomfort in his stomach bothered him, so he decided to try. He started with oatmeal cooked with water, adding berries. Remember Eleanor's advice. Then he tried whole grain bread, found one he liked the taste of. After a month, George admitted, I feel lighter. My stomach stopped rebelling after meals. And the most surprising thing, I stay full longer, don't have that ravenous hunger before lunch, and it feels like I have more energy. What's the secret? White flour and white rice are highly processed products. They contain almost no fiber, vitamins, or minerals. They are essentially pure starch, which quickly turns into sugar in our blood, causing those energy roller coasters we talked about. It's like building a house out of styrofoam. Looks okay, but it's flimsy and non-functional. They can be called empty calories. Whole grains, oats, buckwheat, brown rice, whole wheat flour, however, retain the grain's bran and germ. That's where the main treasures are hidden: fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, iron. Fiber plays a key role here. As we know, it slows down carbohydrate absorption, providing long-lasting satiety and stable energy levels. It's also essential for our gut health, feeding beneficial bacteria, improving peristalsis, helping to remove toxins. It's like building a house with sturdy, high-quality bricks, reliable and long-lasting. What's the benefit for you? Improved digestion, goodbye to bloating and stomach heaviness. Longer-lasting satiety, helping with weight control and avoiding unnecessary snacks. More stable blood sugar levels, especially important for prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, supplying the body with important vitamins and minerals necessary for energy and the nervous system. Ultimately, more comfort, more energy, better mood. Don't be afraid to try new things. Whole grain bread can be very tasty, and porridge made from whole grains with fruit or nuts is an excellent breakfast. Start small. Replace one meal featuring white bread with a whole grain option. Your gut and your energy levels will thank you. Don't let muscles stiffen up. The magic of gentle stretching. We've talked about movement and nutrition, and now about flexibility. Often with age, we feel stiff, as if we can't freely turn, bend, or reach. What we're changing, replacing ignoring flexibility with a daily practice of simple, gentle stretching exercises or elements of joint mobility routines, beginner yoga. Meet Margaret, she's 72. Margaret had always been active, but in recent years, she noticed movements becoming increasingly difficult. Bending down to tie her shoelaces became a problem. Turning back while sitting in the car, quite an ordeal. She'd say, "Well, what can you do? It's age. The bones aren't the same." The thought of stretching or yoga made her smile. That's for the young and flexible. Where would I fit in? Won't I snap in half? She feared pain and awkwardness. It seemed her body had become stiff, like an old tree. I persuaded her to try the simplest exercises that can be done sitting in a chair or standing near a wall. Gentle head tilts, shoulder rolls, soft arm and leg stretches, light torso bends. No pain, no forcing, just comfortable stretching. Margaret started with 5 minutes a day. At first, she felt a bit clumsy, but didn't give up. After a few weeks, she shared joyfully, "Imagine, yesterday I managed to put on my shoes myself without sitting on the ottoman, and my back seems to hurt less after working in the garden. I feel freer in my own body." Why is stretching so important? Our muscles and ligaments do indeed lose elasticity with age and lack of movement. They become shorter, denser. Imagine a rubber band. If stretched regularly, it remains elastic and strong. If left unused, it eventually dries out, becomes brittle, and easily tears when you try to stretch it. The same happens to our tissues. Regular gentle stretching helps maintain and even improve the elasticity of muscles and ligaments, increasing the range of motion in joints. It relieves muscle tension, which is often the cause of pain in the back, neck, and shoulders. It improves blood circulation in the stretched tissues, and very importantly for our main topic, flexibility in the hip joints, knees, and spine directly affects the ability to easily sit down on and get up from the floor. Psychologically, feeling more flexible gives a sense of youthfulness and control over one's body. What benefits will you gain? Reduced stiffness and pain in muscles and joints, increased range of motion, you'll find it easier to bend, turn, and reach. Improved posture, reduced risk of injury during everyday movements, a feeling of lightness, freedom, and youthfulness in your body. And of course, this will bring you closer to the goal, getting up easily from the floor. Find 5 to 10 minutes a day for simple stretches, in the morning to wake up your body, or in the evening to release the day's tension. You can find joint mobility routines for seniors online, or ask a physical therapist. The main things are consistency and absence of pain. Listen to your body. It will tell you the comfortable limit. Allow yourself to feel flexible again. Building and maintaining muscle, the power of protein. We've already mentioned that muscles tend to weaken with age, sarcopenia, but this isn't a sentence. We can and should maintain our muscle mass, and the key element here is protein. What we're changing, replacing a diet with insufficient protein with one where a quality protein source is included in every main meal. Let me tell you about David. He's 78. David had always been slim, but in recent years he noticed distinct weakness in his arms and legs. Lifting a bag of groceries became difficult, standing up from a chair without using his hands, almost impossible. His typical diet consisted mainly of carbohydrates, porridge for breakfast, soup with bread for lunch, potatoes, or pasta for dinner. He ate meat or fish occasionally. "I don't have much appetite, and why do I need to build muscle at my age?" he'd say. He felt weak, vulnerable, and it upset him greatly. He feared falling, feared becoming a burden. I explained to him that protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It's the primary building material for all cells in our body, especially muscles. With age, the need for protein might even increase slightly to counteract the natural loss of muscle mass. We started working on his diet, added an egg or cottage cheese for breakfast, a piece of chicken, turkey, or fish for lunch, legumes, lentils, beans, or tofu for dinner. David initially grumbled that it was too much food, but tried to follow the recommendations. A couple of months later, he came to our meeting looking noticeably refreshed. "You know, I've started to feel stronger, I guess. Recently, I carried the grocery bag home from the market myself, and getting up from the chair is easier. It feels like my strength has returned." Why is protein so important? Muscles aren't just about strength. They are our metabolic engine, burning calories even at rest, support for the skeleton and joints, and key to good balance and coordination. Sarcopenia, the loss of muscle mass and strength, is directly linked to an increased risk of falls, fractures, loss of independence, and even a shorter lifespan. Protein provides the bricks to build and repair our muscles. If there aren't enough bricks, muscle tissue breaks down faster than it rebuilds. It's especially important to get enough protein if you're adding physical activity, even walking or light exercises, as muscles need material to adapt and grow. Imagine a wall. If bricks constantly fall out and new ones aren't added, the wall will eventually collapse. Protein provides those new bricks for your muscles. What's the practical benefit for you? Maintaining and even slightly increasing muscle mass and strength, more physical endurance, improved balance and reduced risk of falls, support for a healthy metabolism and weight, a feeling of strength, confidence in your abilities, maintaining independence in daily life. And of course, strong leg and core muscles are the key to easily getting up from the floor. Try to include a protein source in every main meal. This could be eggs, cottage cheese, plain yogurt, cheese, chicken, turkey, fish, lean meat, legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, peas, tofu, nuts, seeds. A portion size is roughly the size of your palm. Remember, your muscles need building material every day. Take care of them. Nightly repairs, the importance of quality sleep. And the last, but not least, piece of our health and longevity puzzle is sleep. We often underestimate its importance, especially if there are problems falling asleep or frequent awakenings. What we're changing, replacing a chaotic sleep schedule and neglecting sleep hygiene with a consistent bedtime and wake-up schedule, as well as creating a calming evening routine. Let's recall Susan. She's 69. Susan was an involuntary night owl. In the evening, she'd watch TV or read news on her tablet for a long time, going to bed after midnight, and then struggle to get up in the morning, feeling drained. During the day, she often felt drowsy. Her concentration was poor, and her balance sometimes failed her. She almost fell a couple of times on flat ground. "I just sleep poorly, always have," she'd say, considering it her peculiarity. She tried sleeping pills, but they only provided temporary relief and morning grogginess. The idea of a strict schedule seemed boring and difficult to implement. We started small, agreed that an hour before sleep, she would turn off the TV and tablet. Their blue light interferes with the production of the sleep hormone melatonin. Instead, a warm bath with salt, a calm book or quiet music, a cup of herbal tea, and most importantly, try to go to bed and wake up around the same time, even on weekends. The first few days were challenging. Habit fought against the new rules. But Susan noticed she started falling asleep a bit faster, and after a couple of weeks, she realized with surprise that she was waking up before her alarm, feeling rested. You know, I've stopped stumbling on flat ground, and my head is clearer during the day. I even started remembering where I put my glasses. She laughed. Why is quality sleep so critical? At night, our body doesn't just rest, it performs a major cleanup and overhaul. During sleep, the brain clears out toxins accumulated during the day, including those linked to the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Tissue repair occurs, including muscles after daily activity. Hormones responsible for appetite, stress, and metabolism are regulated. The immune system is strengthened. Adequate sleep is necessary for good coordination, balance, reaction speed, memory, and mood. Chronic sleep deprivation is like trying to drive a car with a dead battery and dirty oil. You won't get far, and breakdowns are inevitable. It increases the risk of falls, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and depression. Imagine a repair crew. If they show up chaotically, late, and work sporadically, the repairs will be poor quality and take a long time. Regular quality sleep ensures that your internal repair crew works effectively every night. What benefits will you gain? Improved balance, coordination, and reaction speed, reducing the risk of falls. Improved memory, concentration, and mood. Strengthened immunity. More effective muscle and tissue recovery. Reduced risk of many chronic diseases. You'll feel more alert, energetic, and younger. Create your evening ritual. Air out the bedroom, dim the lights, put away gadgets an hour before sleep. Take a warm bath, read, listen to calm music. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time. Even if you don't sleep perfectly right away, the ritual and schedule itself will help your body adjust to rest. Give yourself the gift of quality sleep. It's an investment in your health and longevity. So, we've reached the end of our conversation. We discussed 6 simple but very important steps that will help you maintain ease of movement, vitality, and mental clarity for many years to come. Regular activity throughout the day, plain water and whole foods instead of sugar and empty carbohydrates, attention to flexibility and muscle strength through stretching and protein, and, of course, restorative nighttime sleep. Perhaps some of these tips seem familiar, while others are new or require effort to implement into your life. But I want to appeal to you, to your wisdom and rich life experience. You've been through a lot. You know the value of health and well-being. Remember, age is not a reason to give up and resign yourself to ailments. On the contrary, it's a time to treat your body with particular care and love, to give it the attention it deserves. You have every right to feel good, energetic, and enjoy every day at any age. Don't be afraid to take small steps. Even one small change implemented today can trigger a chain reaction of positive transformations. Believe in yourself, in your strength, in the amazing ability of your body to recover and adapt. You are not just a number in a passport. You are a treasure trove of experience, spirit, and inner beauty. May each new day bring you the joy of movement, clarity of thought, and the warmth of connection with loved ones. You can do it. Take care of yourself and be well.